Welcome to the Cinnabar. Today we're going to test out this brand new target stand with some really special Winchester model 1892s. We bought 3 of them up today, all in 3840 or 38 WCF in the proper Winchester nomenclature. We'll start off with this really pretty 3840 saddle ring carbine. Then we got a couple other really special ones to show you. I've been hankering to get up here and do a little shooting. You see, hunting season just got over, and leading up to hunting season, we really don't like to do a lot of shooting up here on the ranch, making a lot of noise and spooking the deer. So it's been a little while since we did some shooting. Hunting season didn't go quite as we planned this year. Last year we had really a banner year. We took some really nice bucks off of the ranch, but this year we did manage to put a few bucks in the cooler, but they were pretty small guys. We just didn't run into any of those big boys. But in the midst of all that, my good friend from over on the coast, Jess Hample, he's a oyster farmer over there in that Coos Bay, Charleston area. He brought me over this target stand. He thought this would be a pretty neat little setup for these videos that I make. I think he has a little more confidence in my shooting than I do. The little tiny targets here, so he's going to make me work for it to impress on this video. But it should be fun. This is a great little target stand. These things swivel when you hit them, so not only do you get the noise, but you can swing them around and whatnot. So stick around. I'll take a few shots with this saddle ring carbine, and then I've got a couple of really special 1892s to show you. So here's a look at these Winchester 1892s we're going to talk about today and do a little shooting with as well, all in 3840. Now I already showed you this saddle ring carbine, really nice condition little saddle ring carbine, an excellent little shooter. And I told you we were going to look at a couple of really special 1892s. Now you're probably looking at them and thinking, well, geez, this one's kind of threadbare, not much finish left on it. If you looked really closely, you'd see there's even a slight little barrel bulge down here towards the end. This one out front mechanically is excellent, but has been reblued, and while the reblue job is awfully good, some of the prep work wasn't quite as nice. But so you're probably thinking, well, what's so special about those 2 rifles? Well, here's the real special thing about them. This one, the serial number 202. This one, serial number 203. It's the lowest known consecutive serialized 1892 Winchesters. Now that isn't to say that there isn't some old timer out there with two-digit guns consecutive hidden away, but as of now, these are the earliest known consecutive pairs. So it's kind of a fun thing when you're able to find those consecutive serial numbers and put them together. These 2 were separated at birth. They went on different order numbers and were apart until about 2 or 3 years ago, when I found this 203. There was 13 minutes left on an internet auction. So you know, it's become much easier to put together serial numbers now that we have the technology we do today. Anyway, found this one and bought it on an internet auction. This 202 had been in the family for probably 50 years or so, or actually more than that. It was bought around 1960 for the princely sum of $50, which actually was a lot of money in 1960 for a reblued 92, but I think because of the serial number it brought a little extra money. So it's been fun to put these 2 back together. Today we're going to take a little closer look at them, and then at least the one we're going to shoot, the one with the barrel bulge, I'm a little hesitant. It's probably safe because it's a very slight barrel bulge, but better to be safe than sorry on kind of a historic piece like this. So here's the serial numbers on these 2 rifles. Let me turn this 202 a little bit. It's kind of shiny and maybe a little more difficult to pick up, but there they are, numbers 202 and 203. Really kind of a fun pair to see. Okay, let's see if we can't hit some of these little targets. First we'll use this little saddle ring carbine. These carbines are great little guns, really enjoyable to shoot, enjoyable to pack around. Let's see, we got 6 of those little targets. We got a few milk jugs out there too, so let's see, we got 5 in there. We'll put 6 in and see if we can't get a target or two and maybe a milk jug too. Okay, we'll start with those bottom ones out there. Hey, well heck, that turned them all. What kind of shooting is that? I got all 3 of that side. Let's see if we can't turn them all back. That'd be a feat now. Ah, just turned to one. We'll go to the next one. Oh, right in between them. There, it's working like it's supposed to. Let's see if we can't hit a milk jug too, just for the fun of it. Let's see. Yeah, we still got one. Oh, there we go. That was fun. Okay, so let's do something really interesting and shoot this serial number 202. We'll load this up with a half dozen of them. Now, if we talk about these 1892s for a minute, you know, most of you probably know they're a John Moses Browning design, as were a lot of the early Winchesters. The first of the lever actions that Browning designed was the 1886. Now, the 86 was a great rifle, but it was moderately successful. You know, when you consider there was 150, 160,000 of them sold, and the 1873, by the end of production, there was over 700,000 of those sold. So it really paled in comparison success-wise to the 1873. So I can only imagine that Browning and Winchester got their heads together and decided to come up with something that was maybe the best of both worlds. Something with a 1886 design with these great locking lug design that made them really strong in the 86, but using the 73 calibers that were so popular, the 3220, the 3840, and the 4440. When they came out with the 92, they actually came out with the 2520 as well, which was a great plinking and small game round. So really what they ended up with was exactly what they were after if they were looking for the best of both worlds. This is a lighter weight gun than the 86 with those great calibers, light calibers compared to the 86, but a much stronger action. So when the smokeless powders came along, these were really just already suited for loading up to smokeless. Now these first two were made, of course, early in the production, probably the first week, and they weren't designed for smokeless powder. So we're shooting really light loads. These don't have the nickel steel barrels or anything, so we're going to shoot real light cowboy action loads through them, and of course that's safe to do because they're even lower pressure than the factory smokeless or the black powder loads of the day. But these things became extremely popular. By the end of production, there was something over 1 million of them sold by Winchester, and they even made a couple more models based on the 1892, the Model 53 and the Model 65. And I've already done a video on the 53s, and we'll do one later on the 65s. It really set up for what would become the most popular of the lever actions that would come a couple years later with John Moses Browning, the 1894, of course, with still in production today under different names, but or different companies, but you know, in excess of 7 million of those sold. So let's see if we can't swing a couple more targets around. Some of them got about halfway turned there, so we might aim at those two that are squared up on the right side. Hey, there we go, got them both. This is great. Those things are fun. I'm even close enough I can hit them. And one more. What do you know? Oh, I've got another one in there. We better get a jug too. Oh, that was it. How about that? I bet that gun hasn't been fired in 75 years. It's a beautiful, beautiful gun, and kind of a piece of Winchester history too. Great fun to shoot that. And a good shooter. Heck, I did better with that than I did with this carbine. Well, that was just so much fun. I'm going to have to shoot that serial number 202 again. What a great shooting rifle. Let's talk a little bit about collecting for serial numbers while I load up to shoot this rifle again. And I'm talking about low serial numbers and consecutive serial numbers. In this case, we have both represented. We've got low serial numbers 202 and 203 and consecutive, obviously. Now there's some mixed opinions about collecting serial numbers. My wife tells me it's a form of OCD, worrying about serial numbers. Some collectors will say it's meaningless except for extremely low serial numbers. Consecutive serial numbers, if people have put them together, they're really excited about it and think they add a lot of value to the pair. I'm not so sure that I share that opinion. I think it's more exciting to the person that's out there, the thrill of the hunt, putting those serial numbers together, than somebody who might be interested in buying them, especially if you're talking about you know, serial numbers that are higher. Probably these lower serial numbers, if you've got both, it probably does add some value. Low serial numbers, there are some collectors and some experts on the value of firearms that'll tell you, like a 3-digit serial number like these, it adds minimal value. Two-digit serial number will add, you know, some moderate value, and if you get into the single digits, yeah, there's significant value in those rifles or those particular serial numbers. My experience in watching the low serial number guns that go at auction is that they bid up quite a bit over what they would have if they'd been hadn't been a low serial number. Even the 3-digit guns, particularly lower 3-digit, now if you get up into the 800-900 range, you know, it probably doesn't add a lot. But there is pretty significant competition for some of the lower serial number guns, much more so than you would think. So it's my opinion really that consecutive serial numbers really add very minimal value to a purchaser. They seem to add much more value to the person trying to sell them, because they do get kind of wound up about putting those serial numbers together. But the low serial numbers, you know, there's just enough people out there like me with OCD that collect some of the low serial numbers and will pay some extra for them, and that's kind of been my experience. And you know, the other experts that'll say they're very minimal value added, I think that's more of their personal opinion, because they don't really put an emphasis on low serial numbers. So that's just my take on it. If you find low serial number gun and you buy it right, I'd go for it. Consecutive serial numbers, I'm just not that excited about them. But I am excited about mine, of course, because I put them together, right? So let's see if we can't shoot good again with this serial number 202. Hey, there we go. Let's see if we can't swing that other one around. Hey! Okay, that one's kind of about halfway. We'll see. Oh, we got it anyway. Okay, so hey, 2 more to go and we're perfect. I shouldn't have said that, of course. Hey, 1 more. Hey, there we go. So we've got 4 left, and we got 3 jugs. Let's go through them jugs real fast. Oh, that one died good. So that one. Okay, we should have 1 round left. Let's see if we can't hit that top one again. Hey, there we go, 10 for 10. I don't know about you, but I've really had fun today. This is really great, shooting these old 1892s. Well, if you're interested in 1892 Winchesters, or any other model for that matter, don't hesitate to get on the Winchester Arms Collectors Association website and check it out. It's at winchestercollector.org. There's some great people on there. Get on their forum, ask questions. Just a tremendous resource. And better yet, if you like what you see, join up. You'll never regret that you did. Well, thanks for joining us today. We've had a blast, and I hope you have too. Until next time, happy trails from the Cinnabar.